Okay.
I guess most of people have joined, so we should start the session.
That's fine.
Right. So first of all, I welcome you all in the Student Connect session with Wilkes University and Khaitan Public School. So starting with this university, which is one of the leading universities of US, established in 1933. And from this university, we have Abby Love. She is currently working as Associate Director for International Admissions. And the school which we have today is Khaitan Public School, which is one of the leading schools of Delhi NCR. And from the school, we have Mr. Anand Kumar, who is currently working as Vice Principal, and Mrs. Sonia Sinha, she's working as counselor, and the wonderful students from the school. So first of all, I would request Mr. Anand Kumar to give us a quick a quick brief about the school, and he should address his students about the Wilkes University a bit. Then I would request Abby to take this forward and give the detail about the university to students.
Hello, everyone. Good evening, everyone. First of all, I would like to take sorry from every one of you since there were some technical glitches, and though I am connecting through audio mode, but I am not able to connect to video mode. So once again, I'm sorry for that. I don't know. There are some technical glitches which I immediately recognized half an hour before. Yes. Uh, Hello, Mr. Abbey. I hope you are enjoying your day and you are stay safe and in your own native city. First of all, I would like to welcome my children from Khaitan Public School to be the part of this small session. We are one of the leading school in Delhi NCR, and the USP of my school is that we are very recognized for the Global Connect program. We are having major take in our local community. So this is a Connect program is one of the very important part of our students education life in terms of community or in terms of global connect. And apart from that, our children have created a very good milestone in terms of the placement in top most institution of India and abroad. And as my reflective data says that approximately 65 to 70% children are being placed for undergraduate program in top 20 University of India or abroad. So we are also looking forward to enlarge the vividness in our career prospects. At the same time, we are also interested to send our children our international front to take the admission and obviously create the name and fame for their own and their family and society as well as the school. So once again, I welcome all my children. I welcome the university representative from Wilkes University. Again, I also thanks to UniBrijj, especially Madam Afsa, Madam Nupur, who has given this opportunity for our children to connect with the very renowned school institutions of USA, Wilkes University. So thank you, everyone. Thanks once again. And ma'am, it's now over to you. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Kumar. Thank you for your kind words. Now, first thing which I want to convey to students that this is going to be a very informative session. So be attentive, listen all the points which Abby would be sharing carefully, and whatever questions you have, please keep writing in the chat box so that at the end of the session we'll be asking all these questions. And in between the presentation, we'll be raising few polls as well. So do participate in that, and we are going to have a wonderful session. So now I would request Abby to take this forward. And I'll be making you presenter so that you can share your screen.
Perfect. Great. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Perfect. So thank you all so very much for joining in on this session. I very much appreciate it, and I really hope that I will be able to share with you more about why to study in the USA and why Wilkes University. So first and foremost, most students want to know, what is the great thing about studying in the USA? And these are some of the points that I like to say are the most important things about why a student should study here in the United States. At any institution, including Wilkes University, we have a very diverse student population on campus. We have students from all over the world and various states across the US, and you can find that in many different institutions across the United States. So that's one of the key points. Next is there are very specialized services and support for international students. Every school in the US has a dedicated support person or staff and team ready to help students from abroad that are not from the US to be able to help them navigate the US system of education and really to find places to live and really get to know the US culture and being in a US university. And we have a very large emphasis on internships and career advancement, especially at Wilkes. We have a 96% job placement rate upon graduation. Oh. Hello?
Hi, Abby.
Oh, can you hear me? I thought I heard someone else talking.
Yeah. No. I'm so sorry.
Okay. Just wanted to make sure I wasn't missing a question or anything. So at Wilkes, we have a 96% job placement rate. So we are very interested in making sure that students are getting hands-on experience, getting those internships, and securing a job for after graduation. So that's a really big emphasis in the US and especially at Wilkes. And finally, for studying in the US, we really believe that students are being able to engage in the full campus experience. When they come to the US, many students choose to live on campus to really get that first year student experience, being able to be away from home, sometimes for the first time, getting to know new people from all around the world and from around the US, getting to participate in on-campus activities that you might not have experienced otherwise. So these are some of the key points as to why studying in the US is incredibly important and very valuable. So talking specifically about Wilkes University, we are located in historic Wilkes-Barre, Pennsylvania, which is located on the northeastern edge of the United States in Pennsylvania. And we are on the western edge of the Poconos Mountains. So to give you some perspective, many students and families know that some of these larger name cities, New York City, Washington, D.C., Boston, Philadelphia, we are just a few hours away from all of these larger cities. So not too far away from New York City, about 2 hours. So students are able to have the great small class sizes and enjoy the small campus feel, but can go experience some of these fun places on the weekends with their friends, or even with our staff who sometimes take trips and take students to these cities during breaks and different fun trips. So next, I am going to...
Abby, just a second, please. I would like you to take a pause over here. So
Yep,
now,
no
students, now we're going to raise a poll for you, and I know that we'll be getting correct answers for this poll, right? Yes. So you can see the poll on your screen now. Where is Times Square located? I'm sure you must have heard about Times Square. We are waiting for your answers. Please answer the question quickly. Yes, we know that you know the answer. And we'll keep coming up with different polls in between. So you have to be a little attentive so that you can answer the questions correctly. So Nupur, how much time do we left for this poll?
Just a few seconds.
Okay. I can see that 20% of the students have given correct answers.
No,
Now
actually,
I can,
81% have given the correct answer.
yeah, 81 has given the correct answer.
And 90% student, they have to go to actually Wilkes University to get to know the exact location of Times Square.
Yes.
Abby, please continue.
Great. So now I'm going to show you a video of a walking tour of our campus so that I can bring a little bit of Wilkes University to you.
Hi, my name is Richard. I'm a marketing major here at Wilkes University. I'm also on the football team, and I'll be giving you your tour today. Our first stop is Chase Hall, where all of our admissions counselors are held. Next stop is the Student Union Building. This is the Student Union Building, what students like to call the sub. In this building, you have 2 lounges where students like to catch up on homework and print any last-minute material that they're missing for class. We also have 2 places to eat, which is your on-the-go sandwiches, and Growworks, which is everything off the fryer and the grill. Now we move up to the second floor where we have the ballroom where we hold a lot of events on campus, as well as a few other meeting rooms, in addition to our on-campus mailroom where you're able to send and receive anything that you may need. Upstairs on the 3rd floor is our buffet-style cafeteria where there's tons of options to choose from. My personal favorite is Taco Tuesday. You don't want to miss it. This is our iconic John Wilkes statue where a lot of students like to take selfies on campus, like this. Welcome to Farley Library, each floor corresponds to the level of quietness. The bottom floor is full of collaboration rooms where you can get a lot of group projects done. And the top floor is the quietest floor where you can't hear a beat. This is our university Starbucks where you can kind of get a kickstart to your day. Follow me so we can take a quick tour of the business school. This is the Mchale Athletic Center that students also call the MAC. There's a ton of sports played here. We have basketball, soccer, also known as football. We have tennis and volleyball as well. We also have a rock climbing wall and a rope challenge course in the back. Welcome to the Karen Bellows Media and Communication Center. Coming to you live from the Karen Bellows Media and Communication Center TV studio, where students get real-life experiences. Welcome to the Mark Engineering Center, home to our engineering students. Welcome to Khaitan Science Center. Follow me to see one of our labs. Welcome to Bryson Hall, home to our arts, humanities, and social sciences. Thanks for taking a tour with me. I hope to see you soon on campus. Go Colonel.
So I hope this has kind of given you a little bit more of an idea of what Wilkes University looks like, and I hope we brought a little bit of campus to you. So next, I want to talk a little bit about one of our very unique pieces on our campus, and that is our Wilkes Safety App. I know safety is incredibly important for students and families, especially with this might be your first time in the US or leaving home. We want to make sure that students and their families know that they're safe on our campus. So we have what is called a Wilkes Shield App, and I've included some screenshots here so you can see. On the first one on the left is where you can download it on the App Store, Wilkes Shield. And within this app, we have various things that students can do. If a student is unsure about walking from their dorm to their classroom, or from their classroom to their car or their residence hall, students are able to actually go into this app and request one of our public safety officers who are on campus 24/7, 7 days a week, to be able to walk them to their destination to make sure that they get there safely. This is free to students, so we want to make sure that they know that this is available to them and that they can use this at any time. They can also request shuttle services, so they can find out when our buses are running and the campus shuttle to go to the grocery store or just to even go downtown. Some other features that we have is what is called iReport. So if a student sees something that might not be right on campus, or they are unsure if they want to tell someone in person, they can actually send a report anonymously, or they can let them know who they are through the app and describe the situation and upload a photo or a video. And another unique feature in this app is called Friend Watch. So for example, if I am going to walk to class and when I get out it's dark, I can add my friends in the app and tell them I'm walking from class back to my dorm room and how long it would estimate to take me to get there. And you can start a timer, and if you're not there by that time, it'll notify your friends so that they can call you and see if you're okay or what's going on, to make sure that you got to your destination safely. So these are all free to use for our students, and we want to make sure that they utilize them to feel very safe on our campus. So now I'd like to talk a little bit about the programs that we offer at Wilkes. We are a liberal arts school in the US. However, we do have STEM and science and technology programs as well. So these are all of our programs that are eligible for international students to join. In our College of Arts, Humanities, and Social Sciences, we have a wide variety, and as you saw on the tour, we have our news studio, so those students who are in communication studies or digital design and media art, they're really able to get that hands-on experience by using our new studio. In our College of Science and Engineering, we have a wide variety of engineering majors and biology, chemistry, and you saw our 3D printers and some of our labs. And a lot of our labs, students are able to use to do their own research. So because we're a smaller institution, students are able to use those labs and to come up with their own research, and a lot of our students are being published during their undergraduate studies because they have the ability to do that alongside of our faculty members. We also have a School of Pharmacy, which is very popular. It is a very competitive program. However, it is a 6-year program, so students can complete their bachelor's in the 4 years, and then the additional 2 would be your doctorate of pharmacy. We have a School of Nursing and a School of Education. And then we also have a School of Business and Leadership, and it's called the J. Sidhu School of Business and Leadership. Mr. J. Sidhu is a former international student himself from India, came to Wilkes University, absolutely loved his time there, and he is still very involved in our international student population and on our campus. So he is very dedicated to helping our students in the business school and all international students. But in that School of Business and Leadership, we have a wide variety of majors from hospitality leadership, sports management, financial investments, and corporate finance. So there's a wide variety of majors for you to choose from, and something for everyone to study.
Abby, once again, we'll take a pause.
Okay.
Yeah, and we are coming up with one more poll, and we have got a question as well. So first, let us share the poll with you. In which program are you interested? Engineering, business, pharmacy, art, humanity, and social science. Okay, so we are getting the results as of now. 37% engineering, 42% business, no for pharmacy, and 25% of art, humanity, and social science. Yes, keep voting. And apart from that, I would like to remind the students once again that they can keep typing their questions if they have any question, and the questions will be catered afterwards. Thank you so much. Yes, Abby, you can continue.
Great. So I know a lot of students want to know, what are the admission requirements? How do I apply? So for our application, it's actually online on our website, or we accept the common application as well, and it's completely free. So it doesn't cost a student anything to apply to Wilkes. And then in addition to the application, we ask for a copy of your passport, your high school transcripts in English, and your proof of English proficiency. And I've listed out a few of the most popular ones, but we accept a wide variety. So students can show us IELTS, TOEFL, SAT, ACT, and we're also now accepting Duolingo. In light of the situation of COVID-19 and students not being able to sit for exams, and we know Duolingo is a very accessible exam for students to be able to take anywhere that they have access to an internet and computer. So our application is very quick, very easy, and all of these documents can be submitted to us via email. So we don't require any official documents during the admission process. If you're accepted, then we ask that you bring them with you when you arrive to campus. And we do have 2 intakes in fall, which is our August term, and spring, which is our January term. And our deadlines are November 15th for January term and June 15th for fall August term. Most importantly, I know students and families want to know about scholarships and financial aid. Wilkes
Abby,
does.
once again, I'm sorry.
Yep, no problem. Just stop me.
We'll take a pause and we'll come up with another poll. Nupur,
You
can you
got it.
please raise the poll? Yes. How many of you wants to avail scholarship? I'm sure that I will be getting 100% in this for yes. So Abby will be coming up with this special opportunity of scholarships after this.
Yes. So for scholarships, our students are able to receive scholarships. All of our international students are eligible during the admission process. There is no separate application. So when you apply to Wilkes, you submit all of your application material. And once we receive all of that, I actually am the admission counselor. So if you decide to apply to Wilkes, you'd be working directly with me. And I would make your admission decision and your scholarship decision. So typically our scholarships for freshman students, first year students, run from right around 14 to 21,000 per year for up to 4 years of your undergraduate studies. So as long as you maintain good academic standing during those 4 years, that is renewable every year. So you'd be able to receive that amount. And once you submit all of your materials to us, typically you'll get a decision on your admission and scholarship within 2 days. Monday through Friday, that is. No weekends other than today. So with that, I'll talk a little bit about our tuition and fees. Our tuition cost per year, this is per year, runs right around $37,622 per year. And this does not include any of the scholarships a student might receive that I just talked about. So this is just the full price that a student might need to pay. The miscellaneous is around $2,000 we estimate for books, fees, health insurance. And then next where it differs is room and board. We don't require students to live on campus. However, we fully believe that at least for your first year, we'd like for you to live on campus so that this is your first time away from home, or you've never been to the US or out of the country. This really gives you that home away from home feel and really get to experience what it's like to be a student at Wilkes. But you can choose to live off campus. We estimate about $15,000 for students who live on campus. That's room and meals. And then off campus, we estimate about $10,000. However, student might live with your student might live with a friend, so that might differentiate the cost on if you live off campus. So roughly right around $55,000 US dollars for a resident and $49,000 for a student who does not live on campus. And again, that doesn't include any scholarships. So if a student were to receive the top scholarship, they would be able to take at least $20,000 off of that total price. And I know how important it is for students looking to do internships or working after graduation. So at Wilkes, we want to make sure that students are getting that experiential learning where you're able to get hands-on experience. So all of our students are required to complete an internship, a capstone, or a research project, so that when they leave us, they have that on their resume, that they've had that work, that they were able to do that hands-on experience. So a lot of our students are doing their OPT or CPT in the larger cities that were mentioned that are nearby. Some stay in our area and work with local companies, but these might be some of the larger name companies that our students are being placed that you might have heard of. We've had some students with Google, Johns Hopkins Hospital, NASA, Verizon, and the Hershey Chocolate Company is located in Pennsylvania. So a lot of our students actually go to work at the Hershey factory and the theme park for our hospitality management students. So our students are working at top companies in the US, and they're really able to secure these jobs because of their time at Wilkes and that experiential learning that they receive. And
We are
with
coming
that,
up with another poll, Abby. I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
Please repeat.
No
So we are
worries.
coming up with another poll. What is your dream company? Google, Apple, NASA, Walt Disney, Pepsi. Start giving your answers. So we are waiting for the responses from the students. So as of now, 25% Google, 29% Apple, 25% NASA, 18% Walt Disney. Now it is 33% Google, 28% Apple. Good going, 22% NASA.
And if your dream company is not in the list, you can write in your chat box as well.
Yes, of course. 35% Google, 25% Apple, 20% NASA, 15% Walt Disney, and 5% Pepsi. There's a very little fluctuation here and there in these companies' names.
Yes.
Yes, so student, keep asking the questions. You can type your questions, and after the presentation shared by Abby, we'll start catering the questions.
I guess soon we'll be seeing many Indian students in Google.
Yeah.
Let's all come to Wilkes, and then we'll get you all hopefully internships or jobs with Google.
Yes, Abby, you can continue now.
And that wraps it up for me. I thank you so much for joining us and letting me share and bring a little bit of Wilkes University to your home. And I hope that we can stay connected and that I might see you here as a future student at Wilkes.
Thank you, Abby. Thank you so much. Now I will start reading out the questions from here. So we have got a question from Devansh Bhardwaj. The question is, can we take multiple courses at the same time, such as biology and psychology together?
Yes, you can. We actually have quite a few of our international students who double and triple major. So they are doing lots of different majors. We have a student currently who will graduate, I think, in December of this year, who is doing an international relations, a Spanish, and a political science all major. And he even is an international student and did a study abroad somewhere else in Europe. So it is possible to be able to major in more than one thing. We've also had students do engineering major and then minor in dance. So it's a wide variety and it is possible.
That's wonderful. Thank you so much, Abby. Devansh, I believe that Abby has answered your question. Now I will read out the second question. The question is from Ekta Khanna. What are career opportunities after doing BBA and for commerce background students in America after studying from your university? She has another question. Okay, fine. She has two more questions. So let me just get the answer for the first one. Please, Abby.
Yes, so it's a bachelor's of business commerce. So like I mentioned on the placements, our students are working at Disney, Pepsi, Hershey. So those are where a lot of our students are working at. Those are the top companies. And some of our students in the business world are working at larger banks in New York City, JP Morgan Chase. And then we also have some students who are working at larger hotel chains such as Marriott and Hilton.
Okay, thank you, Abby. So the next question from Bhamini Agarwal is, what are high school transcripts?
Yes, your high school transcripts are, they would show us the grades that you've been receiving in all of your courses during your 9, 10, 11, and 12. And then if you have taken the boards in India, we would ask that you submit those as well.
Thank you, Abby. Bhamini, I believe that she has answered your question. And she has written that no dream company. Why, Bhamini? Why there's no dream company? Okay.
She'll be an
So there's
entrepreneur and she'll make her own company. And that will be
Exactly.
a dream company for other people.
that's wonderful.
Am I
Wonderfully
right,
said by.
Bhavani?
Okay, that's wonderful. So coming to the next question from Shambhi Ghosh, the question is it possible for Indian students to get job while pursuing the course?
So typically when you're on an F1 student visa, students are not permitted at any school in the US to work off campus unless approved. So at Wilkes, we have that unique opportunity for students to do CPT, which is your curricular practical training. So you would work with our immigration office to then be able to be approved to work off campus because it would be part of your program. However, we do also offer on-campus employment. So students are able to apply for campus jobs. We have some that work in our admissions office, as you saw in the video. That student is a tour guide in our admissions office. So there are jobs that students are able to do part-time. Just know that we don't expect a student to be able to fully fund themselves from working on campus. This would be more of spending money if you want to go to New York City on the weekend with your friends or go out to dinner or catch a movie. But we do offer those opportunities for students to gain experience working on campus.
Thank you, Abby. The next question is from Dia Tyagi, and the question is, for getting admission to the university, do we require to give SAT?
Yes, so the SAT is not required for Wilkes. We just ask that for your English proficiency proof, you can submit the SAT, but that means you don't need to submit IELTS or TOEFL. So we just need one of those exams to show your English proficiency. However, the only program, I think we didn't have too many people interested in pharmacy, but the only program that we require SAT is pharmacy. But all the other programs, you can submit any test of English.
Okay. So I'm happy to see that the students are quite aware of the exams, even as at this stage when they have just entered in grade 11. So that's really wonderful. The next question is from Shambhi Ghosh, and the question is, any specific security measures are there in order to protect Indian students?
So we have very few Indian students on our campus right now. So we'd love to have you all and to grow our Indian student population. But specifically for all of our students, we have our public safety. And as I mentioned, that app is used for anyone, and any student can use that. But our public safety officers are there 24/7, 7 days a week. Our campus has been closed due to COVID-19. However, our safety officers have still been there working, ensuring our campus is safe for everyone's return after COVID-19 and for the future. But our officers do patrol on foot, so they're walking around campus. You'll be able to see them. They do bike around campus and they drive. And if you do live on campus, all of our residence halls are security locked, so only a student with that key card that has access to that dorm can get into that building. So unless you let someone else in, nobody else can get into that building or your specific room. So we try to make sure that students feel very safe, and that if they have an issue, again, in the app, they can send it to us anonymously, or they can let us know who they are so that it can be addressed properly and quickly for all students.
Okay, that's great. The next question is from Ishi Gupta, and the question is corporate finance a good career?
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear the question.
Okay. Is corporate finance a good career?
Yes, we've actually changed a lot of our business majors from just a bachelor's of business to those specific majors that you actually saw, so the corporate finance, financial investments. Our faculty have done research on what is needed in the job market, and that is why we changed our majors to reflect this. So a lot of our students in these programs are going on to work at the, like I mentioned, the larger corporations in some of the larger cities in the US. Merrill Lynch, JP Morgan Chase, some of these big financial companies. And we even have in our business school a stock ticker, and we have a stock market club, and they actually use it with real funds that the club has grown over the year, so that they're actually playing the stock market game and putting their funds into different stocks and trying to grow it. So it is a very important major, and a lot of our students are going on and doing great things. And as I mentioned, Jay Sadhu, he was actually a business major at Wilkes, and he has been very successful and is very involved in trying to mentor a lot of our business students.
Okay, great. So I think this kind of students are really going to add on into our economy very well.
Yes.
Okay, so moving to the next one, the question is from Rachna Jain, and the question is, are there any cultural communities on campus, and do they provide any additional aid to the students?
So we do have some student clubs on campus. In terms of international student clubs. So we do have an Indian Student Association, we have a Chinese student club, many others. So students are able to join those and kind of have that little group or community. And they share with us on campus their cultures. We celebrate Holi, Diwali, Chinese New Year, Panamanian celebrations, and we've celebrated the Saudi student special day from their country. So a wide variety of opportunities to have that on campus. And in terms of aid, if you mean financial aid, the groups don't provide any aid in terms of finances, but definitely in terms of support to one another, making sure that you're doing okay on campus, and if you're feeling homesick, I'm sure a lot of our students have been known to cook home-cooked meals for each other and get that home away from home food so that they can feel a little bit of comfort.
Okay, great. Moving to the next question. The question is from Shraddha Chaudhary, and she is from commerce stream, and she wants to ask that she has interest in computer coding or anything in computer. Is there something for her?
Yes, so we do have a few options for students in terms of computers on the minor side. So if you wanted to major in business, you could minor in computer engineering. So students are able to combine that type of opportunities together. So we do have those opportunities, and we have sustainability management, minors and certificates. So those are different options that you could look at, especially at Wilkes, that we have those opportunities for you.
Okay. Abby, I think the day is not easy for you because we have got a number of questions, and I think still we are getting few questions from the students.
That's okay, that's good.
Very good, very good. So we were having wonderful students, very enthusiastic students today. So the next question is from Rashi Ratan, and she wants to ask, could you please elaborate more on business courses?
Yeah, so if we're talking about our programs, well, like I mentioned, we have quite a few in our business school, ranging from your traditional programs in accounting, finance, hospitality leadership. But in these programs, you would have seen in the tour video, our business students are able to actually create a store. It's part of one of their projects in campus. and they make goods and they sell the items to students. I think most recently they did Wilkes like t-shirts and sold them to students and actually ran their own business for the semester. So that's a really unique feature, and in addition to our stock market group who plays on the stock market. But in terms of the courses, there are a lot of majors and minors that students can combine and complete together. Typically, all of them can be completed within 4 years, sometimes a little sooner if you take summer courses as well. And all of our programs are listed on our website, and you can actually go in and look and see the exact courses that you'd need to complete for each major, and when you'd be completing your general education requirements along with your business courses.
I'm sorry, I was on mute mode.
I was like, I can't hear you.
Yeah. So the next question is from Arya Singhal. Are there courses available for other branches of psychology?
So for our undergraduate students in our psychology major, you would be able to, within the major, we just have psychology, but in that major, you would have to do an independent study or research. So that could be anything you want it to be. If there is something very specific that you're very interested in doing research on or studying or pursuing, even later on into a master's or a doctorate degree, you'd be able to start that research or independent study within the program. So we do have an applied track and we do have a research track. So students would be able to focus on, in the applied track, their internships and their experience based on their interest. And then for the research track, that is more for a student who wants to go to graduate school and eventually go for their, a higher degree or even a PhD. So those are the two options that we have within pharmacy, but you're able to do that independent research and student research alongside your faculty member on any topic that is of interest to you.
Okay. Then we have a question from Meelal Singh. Is there any course for biology other than pharmacy?
We do have a biology major, so students are able to do that. Typically, our students who do biology also minor in chemistry or major in chemistry and minor in biology. And those students are looking usually at a pre-med track. If you're not interested in medicine, you can just do the biology. But we do have that option other than pharmacy. And then if you are interested in the pre-med, we have a special second advisor that you would have in addition to your biology advisor that would then help guide you and prepare you for the MCAT and help working on getting you into medical school after graduation.
Okay. There is one student named Diya Tyagi. Diya, I can see two words. One is university with an asterisk sign and one is give with asterisk sign. I think you had already asked the question previously and then you have corrected it. If not, you please type your question again so that we can come up to your question. And if your question has already been covered, then you can just leave it, right? So moving to the next question, the question is by Khushi Gupta. And the question is, the cost mentioned is for the whole course or a year?
So the tuition cost was for 1 year. So that would be $37,000 for 1 year. So that would be your fall and your spring, or your spring and your fall. And your scholarship that you would receive would be for each year as well. So if you received a $20,000 scholarship, you would subtract that off of the $37,000, and then the same for the next year and the next year, pending that you stay in good academic standing.
Thank you. The next question is from Bhamini Agarwal. The question is, I want to work in UN. Do you provide course for those who want to become a diplomat?
So what I would recommend for you is either our degree in political science or international studies. We currently, like I mentioned, have a student who is working on a triple major in political science and international studies and Spanish, and he actually did a project and presented at Model UN. So that would be an opportunity for you to get your foot into the door and have that opportunity to see how everything works and potentially, you know, hopefully make those connections to become a diplomat or work at the UN.
Okay. The next question is from Diya Tyagi. In a situation where we major in different subject and we have another choice for the second subject, does the university give us opportunity to get an internship for both our major and minor course?
So that would depend on what the program would entail. Most of our minors don't require an internship, but that would be something where you'd have to work with your program advisor and your immigration advisor to make sure that you could be approved for CPT, your internship, based on what you're studying. Typically, as long as it is listed on your I-20, students are able to do that based on their minor as well. But when you're looking for your OPT, when you want to work after you graduate, you really want to look at your major, because if you're majoring in a science, technology, or math, you'd be able to then work longer in the US. If your minor was dance, you wouldn't be able to work as long in the US. So typically the STEM science and technology students are able to then work at least up to 5 years in the US after they graduate, after their applications are approved.
Thank you, Abhi. The next question is from Ishi Gupta, and the question is, what are the future career opportunities corporate finance offer?
Yeah, so the corporate finance, we have a wide variety of students who are working a lot at larger corporations in their financial, with their financial degree. So some are working, like I mentioned, at Hershey in their finance. Some students are working more in the banking world, in terms of JP Morgan Chase. And some of the other opportunities that students can have with a corporate finance degree, they could be an investment banker, a chief financial officer, a CFO, they could be a senior business analyst. So it's a wide variety with the financial degrees that we have. It opens up a lot of doors. So those are some of the opportunities that our students are getting.
The next question is from Khushi Gupta. Before this, I would like to share with you that we have got a very nice message from Shambik Ghosh. The student has written a very positive and a very cute thank you for your response.
Oh, thank you.
So the question from Khushi Gupta is, does the school offer any preparatory courses for Indian exams?
So we don't offer any prep courses for the exams. However, we do have an intensive English program. So if you are maybe not sure on your English, or you haven't quite scored as high as you'd like to on your exams, and want to practice your English skills, we offer an intensive English program, which is either in person or online. So if you wanted to start taking some English classes before you even get to us, that's an opportunity. And then another unique feature we have is our university prep program. So as I mentioned with our admission scores, if you have an IELTS of 5, TOEFL of 60, you'd be admitted into our programs. However, maybe you only score a 5 on the IELTS, we can still accept you. We can accept you into our prep program, which would give you all academic credit. You'd be able to take 3 courses of English to kind of help get you ready for your academic studies, and then you'd be able to take 2 academic courses relating into your program. Typically, students are taking a math course that will relate to their major and one of our first year freshman courses. So that's also an opportunity, but that would be after you complete your exams in India.
Okay. The next question is from Rachna Jain. Are there any additional aid or job offered by the different departments of college based on either merit or need for more financial help?
So within our departments, typically the departments only award additional aid on the graduate side, so master's programs. However, sometimes I'm able to help work with a student based on their financial need. So that can be a discussion that when you apply and we award your scholarship at that time, we can have more of a discussion to see what is needed and how we can help and to what extent we're able to assist you. So we're always trying to find ways to help students. I'm able to even provide some additional outside scholarship resources for students to be able to apply to outside scholarships that are outside of Wilkes. And I highly recommend also checking out Education USA in your area. They also can help find additional scholarships or guide you on where to go to look for those. So they are a great free resource that you can go to and use in your area. And they also have plenty of resources online as well.
Okay. The next one is from Devansh Bharadwaj, and the question is, are we supposed to take the SAT for a major in biology?
No, you do not need to take SAT. If you take the SAT, then you do not need to submit an IELTS or TOEFL. Just one of those tests will suffice.
Okay. Khushi Gupta has written, Khushi, I'm not able to understand. You have written, for example, UPSC. I think this is the later part of the question. So if it is possible to for you to write the question again, I would be happy to read out your question.
We actually asked the question before earlier that do university provide any kind of preparatory course for Indian exams like UPSC?
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, so the next question is from Diya Tyagi. A situation where we major in a different subject and we have another choice for the second subject, does the university, I think I have already read out this question, does the university give us opportunity to get an internship for both minor and major course?
We answered that one.
Yeah. Okay, so going to the next one, the question from Rashi Ratan. Does Wilkes University offer the option of completing a course earlier with extra credits? Very good question.
Yes, so a student can complete. Typically, students are taking 15 credit hours, so that's about 5 courses, depending on if a course is 3 credit hours or 4 hours a semester. So that's typically what we equate to about 4 years. However, if you took summer classes or you took a few additional courses during each semester, you could potentially finish in 3 years or 3.5 years. So you might not need to be there the full 4 years.
Okay. The next question is from Arya Singhal. Could you please elaborate more on psychology courses as well?
Yes. So for psychology, like I mentioned previously, we have the 2 tracks in psychology where students can do either the they can do either the research track or applied track, where you can decide what you want to study in terms of your own student research. And there's also research that you might be doing alongside faculty members. And we do have different psychology facilities on campus. So we have a biopsychology lab, a neurotraining and research center, and we have a clinical observation site and a special computer lab with specific software for our psychology majors. So those are all different things that you would be able to then utilize while you're in the psychology major, depending on your track that you would choose.
Okay. The next question is from Dia Tyagi. The question is, what about English honors and the opportunities for that courses?
You said honors.
Yeah, English honors.
Okay, great. So we do have an honors program. So students who are interested in the honors program typically need to have at least a 3.6 GPA. And we do an evaluation on your transcripts, on your grades here. So no need for a WES or an outside evaluation, just as long as they're in English. And as long as you have that 3.6 GPA, and then we would then qualify you for an honors application. So you'd have to submit an application and be interviewed for our honors program. There are additional scholarships within the honors program, and that is separate from the admission scholarships. So those are only awarded by the honors program director. But it is possible for you to then get additional scholarship through the honors program. And then there are specific courses and a little bit more research that you would be doing within the honors to have that distinction on your diploma.
Okay. The next question is from Aditya Vishnani. Is there any course for CPA? Aditya, is it possible for you to write the abbreviation of the CPA maybe at the later stage so we can come up to your question again?
If it's accounting, so we do have an accounting major if you're talking certified personal accountant.
Okay.
We don't have that exam on campus, but that is something that the accounting program would work with you on to help you get ready to take that exam, if that was what you're referring to.
Thank you, Abby, for helping me out because I couldn't understand that.
I hope that's what you meant.
Okay, so let's see if Aditya comes up with the abbreviation that would be different, and then we can answer the question again. Thank you so much, Abby. So the next question is from Bhamini Agarwal. My friend is interested to be a pilot. Is there something for her? Wow.
So we don't have any direct programs for students interested in being a pilot, unfortunately. So we do have an aerospace science program, a minor, but that's typically geared for our students who are looking to join U.S. military, which sometimes is not eligible for international students unless they plan on going through the citizenship process here in the States. But you would already need to be a citizen before you could join that program, unfortunately.
Okay. The next question is from Dia Tyagi. The question is, could I get to know more about the sports block in the university?
I'll talk on two things because I'm not sure if I will answer your question. So we have a sports management program. If you're referring to our program for the bachelor's degree, so we do have that, and then we also have athletics if you're interested in playing a sport. So we do have Division III NCAA athletics for men and women. So we have a lot of various programs for students to participate in. If you are interested in playing at the college level, that is something you can let me know during the application process, and I can connect you with a coach to see if you would be a good fit for the team. We also do have just sports clubs. So if you want to play cricket, or if you want to play just play soccer for fun, we do have that as well. But our sports management degree, a lot of students in that program are going on to work on professional sports teams, college athletics, sports agencies. Some of our recent graduates have gone on to work with hockey teams in the U.S. Hockey is very popular in our area, and we have a hockey team in our area. So students have gone on to work in hockey and tennis and some of the different sports entertainment industries here in the States. So I hope that has answered your question.
Okay, the next one is from Ekta Khanna. Do you have any program related to entrepreneurship? So here comes the first one.
We do have an entrepreneurship minor. So for example, if you wanted to major in management, you could then minor in entrepreneurship. So we don't have a major for entrepreneurship, but it is still a possibility for you to study that alongside something else within our business school. If you're interested in running your own business, maybe you want to be in marketing or management as your major and then have that entrepreneurship on the side with your minor. Or if you want to be more on the finance side, you can major in that and then minor in your entrepreneurship.
Okay. The next one is from Shraddha Chaudhary. Criteria for better or more scholarship?
Can you repeat the question? I'm sorry.
Yeah, the question is from Shraddha Chaudhary, and the question is criteria for better or more scholarship. Is there any criteria for getting more scholarship, as you have mentioned, between 10 to 19,000 USD? So
Yes.
apart from that, is there any criteria?
So we actually look at your previous academic performance. So we're looking at your grades that you received during your high school years. So make sure that you are taking your studies seriously and trying to achieve the best grades possible, because that's what we're ultimately looking for in terms of awarding the scholarship. We don't use your English proficiency scores for the scholarship, simply because we know some students may not do well on the test, or might just need a little bit of additional English help, which is why we offer the prep program. So we're looking at basing everything off of your previous academic performance.
Okay. The next one is from Khushi Gupta. Course duration for the business course.
I didn't hear the first part. I'm sorry.
Okay. The question from Khushi Gupta. She's asking about the course duration for the business course.
Okay. So all of our programs, aside from pharmacy, run for 4 years, but you could finish, as I mentioned previously, if you took more courses in the spring or the fall, or if you took more in the summer, then you might be able to do it in 3 or 3.5 years. So they're typically they all run about 4 years.
Okay. The next one is from Meenal Singh. Along with the studies, is there any extracurricular classes?
So they're not classes per se, but just more of getting involved in campus. So we have a wide variety of clubs. As I mentioned before, we have the sports, if you just want to play for fun. We have our international student clubs. We have honor societies, things in the arts, communications. And we also have Adventure Ed, which our student activities host. Since we are in a region where there's a lot of mountains, we have opportunities for our students to go skiing and snow tubing. So those are some fun opportunities that you might not have experienced before. They go hiking and you're able to go up into the mountains. So there are opportunities to do very different things that you might not be able to experience while you're at home. So we have something for everyone. And I mean, we even have social media clubs if you want to work on the social media accounts for the university. So it's very unique, and there's a lot you can do to be involved.
Okay. The next one is from Rashi Ratan, and she wants to know how can the extra credits be earned?
So the extra credits can be earned by taking additional courses during your semester, or for example, if you return home for the summer and you want to take a course or two at a local school, we could work with you to make sure before you take the courses, let us know what you're taking and your advisor, and we could look at the course description and syllabus and see what it would match up to at Wilkes. So there's a possibility if you go home, you could take a couple courses, or if you want to go online and take a few courses at Wilkes while you're back home, that's also a possibility.
The next one is from Astha Arora. She wants to know about the number of Indian students in the university.
Right now we have only about 8 Indian students, so there are not many. We used to have a larger population of Indian students, but mainly they were graduate students. So we do have a few Indian students on campus now. So we're trying to grow that population and really have more student involvement in having them be on our campus. So we do have a local community in the area of some Indian nationals. So there are some local people, not just students at Wilkes. So we do have a community in the area, and many of our faculty members are international themselves. So we do have the Dean of the College of Science and Engineering is actually from India. He's from Bangalore. So we have some faculty members as well. And even if you're not in that particular major, our faculty are very involved and want to be a part of your experience. So I know some of our faculty in business who are from China have invited some of the engineering students to their home for Chinese New Year. So it's a very involved campus, and our faculty love to be involved with the students, though they may not even be in their programs. So just kind of want to make sure that you're taken care of and that this is your home for the next 4 years.
Yes, definitely.
I guess we missed one question from Arya. She wants to know the career opportunities for student majoring both in biology and psychology.
So for biology, depending on what you'd like to do, you could certainly move on to med school if that is something of interest to you. And we do have students going on to work in labs. So it just kind of varies on what you're very interested in pursuing after you leave us, after graduation. But then on our psychology side, again, it depends on what you're really interested in doing. Do you want to be doing research? Do you want to be working with young people? Do you want to be really working on moving on to working onto your master's or your doctorate, so that you could go more into health sciences? So those are some of the options that you would have working in those two majors. And some of our faculty would be able to kind of help guide you on what you're interested in doing and connect you with people in that field to shadow, so that you could really make sure that that is something that you want to pursue, and then you'd have those connections to be able to go on after graduation and obtain and secure that job.
Okay. We have got another thanks note from Rachna Jain, and then a question from Diya Tyagi. Do you accept high school credits while accepting the application?
In terms of high school credits, to count for credit into the university, we typically do not, unless it's an international baccalaureate course or a Cambridge course. So if you have those, then we would then review as a case-by-case basis with the faculty. But if you're not taking one of those types of exams, then high school would not count towards the degree.
Okay, the next one is from Arya Singhal. What is the duration of internship on campus?
So the internship really varies. It depends on your program and what would be needed. Some programs might require a certain amount of hours that you do, or they may say you just need a year and you'd be registered for a course while you're doing that internship. In terms of immigration, there are various restrictions and rules, but that would be talked about with you when you go to apply for your CPT or your internship with our immigration office. So it all varies depending on which program you're doing.
Okay. Now Ishi Gupta wants to ask, if we do 2 majors, will take more time or years, or it will go side by side?
It depends. Some courses, for example, if you're doing computer science and electrical, some of those courses may overlap. So if it's a similar major, it might not take you as long as if you're doing corporate finance and biology, where the courses are very different. But a lot of our general requirements would count for both majors. And then once you get into the specific major, you'd work with your advisors to make sure that your courses would line up so that it wouldn't take you more than 4 years or maybe an additional semester.
Okay. Asta Arora wants to know more about business courses, and she wants to know exactly any course is there for chartered accountant.
So we do have an accounting major that it sounds like might be of a good fit for you. So we do have that major, and in terms of what that entails, you would be then able to have a CPA option, as I know we mentioned before, and that would give you some options to be able to eventually go take the CPA exam and obtain that licensure to work in the US. Some of our students have taken jobs with local firms in the area and some larger firms. Typically, employment for that major looks like an accountant, a government accountant, a financial analyst, even an auditor. So those are some of the types of jobs. And it's very heavy, obviously, on the taxes and accounting courses. So those are the major types of courses that you'd be taking within that major. And we do have accounting clubs that students can join. And again, we have the financial trading room with the stock ticker that students are able to even use that for the stock trading club. So there is a lot of opportunity within the accounting major.
Okay. Two students, Astha Arora and Shraddha Chaudhary, have asked the repeated question that you have already answered about the number of Indian students in the university. So we'll just skip the question because it has already been answered. Coming to the next one by Ekta Khanna. If one wants to pursue a master's degree in business management, then is maths required during graduation or only in 11th and 12th will do?
You said GMAT exam?
If a student wants to do master's degree in business management, so till which level maths is required? Till graduation level or till 12th it will work?
Okay, so if they wanted to do MBA, what math is required? For our MBA program, unfortunately, it has moved to an online format, so students can't complete the Masters of Business on our campus. So that's unfortunately not an option unless you were willing to do that from home.
Okay. Ms. Sonia Sinha, she is working as a counselor with the Khaitan Public School. She has again written a thanks note, and she has written very interactive and informative session, and it really could hold the students.
Thank you.
The next question is from Ishi Gupta. Is there a software or computer engineering course?
So we have a computer science major. I know that's not quite lining up, but we do have a computer engineering minor. And we have a computer information systems major. So that might line up with something that you might be interested in pursuing in one of the other majors, and then minoring in computer engineering. So that might be an option for you that you might want to explore if Wilkes might be a good fit for you.
Okay. We've got a question from Meenal Singh. You have already answered this question about the extracurricular activities, as you have already told that you have clubs in which the students can get enrolled. So she basically wants to know about dance. Do you have any dance club?
We do, and we have a dance minor. So if you wanted to major in biology or computer science, then you could also minor in dance. I mentioned before we had a student from Vietnam who majored in electrical engineering and minored in music. So it is possible to pursue both of your interest and your passions with us at Wilkes.
Okay. The next one is from Dia Tyagi. Does your university provide options for being a researcher while still in the university, like any special branches or opportunities for being a paid researcher?
Some opportunities that would kind of include an internship or working on campus within the department that they might be hiring. So that's an opportunity for paid research. And then obviously there's opportunities for you to just do research alongside a faculty member if it's something of interest to you. And some of our students have gone on to present at conferences and be published alongside their faculty members. Some of the time it's not paid. So if you're wanting something paid, it might be a little bit harder, but if you're wanting to get the knowledge and the experience and to have your name published during your undergrad, then we certainly have those opportunities for you.
Okay, great. I think Sonia ma'am has asked a question on behalf of the students, I think to make it clear to most of the students, the difference between major and minor subject.
Yes, so the easy way to explain it is the major, I say, is your primary focus of study. For example, my primary focus of study was international studies. And then I also minored in French. So French was my secondary study. So that's kind of the difference. So your main focus is the primary major. So the number one thing that you're studying. And then the other one is your secondary. So there might not be as many courses in your minor as in your major.
Okay, great. The next one is from Rashi Ratan, and she wants to ask, do extracurriculars help in getting a scholarship like dance, event organization, debating, etc.?
At our university, unfortunately, we don't have any scholarships for the extracurricular activities. If you're looking at other institutions, they may in the US in terms of like athletics or joining the dance team. Our teams, unfortunately, at the Division III level don't offer any scholarships. They all focus on the academic aid that we offer in admissions.
Okay. Now we have got a question from Shambe Ghosh. That's a very traditional question that comes from most of the Indian students. How is the university ranked with respect to the international comparisons standards like US ranking or Time Higher Education ranking?
So for Wilkes, we are ranked in US News and World Report and among a few others in The Economist. For finance, we are ranked 25th in the nation for economic value in The Economist. And for 16 years, we have been ranked number 211 of top national universities in the US. We also, in US News and World Report, have been a top performer for our undergraduate engineering programs. So we do have that in the US News and World Report. And in the Princeton Review, we are ranked as one of the best Northeastern colleges. And I could name quite a few others. The Princeton, like I mentioned, the Princeton Review, and then the Washington Monthly, we're ranked 133 of national universities. So we do have some rankings. We may not be your top 10 of your Harvard or your Stanford, but we are ranked, and we really pride ourselves on giving a quality education for students and really giving you that hands-on experience and being able to be employed after graduation.
Exactly. And what I personally believe, that the university is the best for the student, which is the best fit for him or her. Now the next question is, we have already covered this business courses. Okay, the next question from Asta Arora: if anybody wants to go in banking line, which options are provided by the university?
So if you're interested in pursuing more in banking, I would recommend one of our business majors, accounting, corporate finance, financial investments. But we do have a career services and internship office. So this isn't only just for business students, but for all students. We host career fairs on campus so that you can get direct connections and sometimes on the spot interviews with employers for internships and jobs. And we also help with updating your CV or your resume, which might be a little different from India to the US on what companies are looking for. So our staff will help you update that to make sure that you're presenting yourself in a great manner and showing the skills that you have to be employed. And we also have interview help, so we can do mock interviews with you so you can practice and be ready for those interviews. So we're able to help in all aspects of helping you find a job and employment, not just for business students, but for all students.
Okay. Another question from Diya Tyagi. Can we have multiple minors even if they differ from each other?
Yes, you can. You just may have to take more courses, which may take you a little bit longer depending on if the courses overlap or if they're very different from each other.
Okay. Now, there's a question from Astha Arora, and she wants to know, since IELTS exams has been cancelled this year, so any other exam that would be considering?
So we're working with students because those exams were canceled. So we would just be looking at the grades that you currently have had previously, because we know things are a little strange right now and it's very uncertain for everyone. So we're just trying to work with you all the best way we can. And should everything continue with being locked down or exams not happening, it'll be individualized conversations that you and I would be able to work together to make sure that we have everything we need should you not be able to take your exams.
Yeah. Next one is from Meenal Singh. Is there any other course of foreign languages other than English?
So we do have our English major, and then we also do have a Spanish major as well. So those are the two languages that we have majors in, but we do offer French language as well, if that's something you're interested in studying.
Okay. Another question from Diya Tyagi. She has been asking a lot of questions, so she is very enthusiastic and very inquisitive, I would say. So very good, Diya. Does your university provide opportunities to do double majors? If yes, then after how many years?
Yes, we do. You can start that from your very first year. If you know what you want to study, you can declare that as soon as you start as a first-year student. And honestly, that would probably be the best way to approach if you know you want to do two majors, because then you can immediately begin working with your advisors to make sure that you're on track to finish in 4 years and what courses will count for both majors. So if you're thinking about it now, I think you should make your decision before you join university so that you can make sure you plan accordingly.
Okay, the next question is from Bhamini Agarwal. Are transportation costs included in the fee?
So transportation costs are not included in the fee. Typically, our students who live on campus or live in the area don't usually need a car. Everything is usually in walking distance. I stay on campus as well, so you can walk everywhere. You don't need a car. And we do have the shuttle bus, so you don't have to pay for that. There's no additional fees. So if you need to go downtown, you can take the shuttle bus for free. In terms of your flights to and from, those would be at your expense. If you were to go anywhere else in the US, that would also be at your expense. But we do have some other events that happen throughout the year like trips to New York City to go to Broadway or to go to Boston to see the Boston Red Sox baseball team. Some of those are actually free for students. So it just depends on what trip and if it would cost any additional fees.
That's very interesting that everything is at the walking distance, so they don't need to pay any additional transportation fee. Next question is from Shraddha Chaudhary. How many total subjects can we have in graduation?
In terms of majors, the most I've seen someone do is 3. I know it might be a little challenging to do more than that. It might be even challenging for some students to do 2 or 3. But if you are able to have great time management and to plan yourself accordingly, you know, that might not be as much of a challenge for you. But I would not suggest to do more than 3.
So, Abby, there is one question from my side now. Is there any limit to the minimum or maximum number of major subjects?
I don't believe there's a limit. Of course, every course comes with fees, so you'd want to make sure that if you're conscious of your finances, you might not want to take too many because that would cost you additional if you need to stay more than 4 years.
Okay. And actually, she wants to know about Dia had a question that does the university provide opportunities to double majors? And you have already answered this question. And did we cover up this also, that after how many years they can choose double majors?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Okay. Now the next question is from Meenal Singh. Do we get any certificate for other languages?
So we don't have certificates for other languages, but if you were to minor in Spanish, for example, or in English, that would be noted on your transcripts upon graduation. So those are the only 2 options that we have.
Okay. The next one is from Arya Singhal, and Arya just wants to know about does the university offers any scholarship test?
Scholarship test?
Yeah. Is there any test for getting scholarship?
No, there's not. Our scholarships are awarded at the admission process, so no additional tests are needed. The only additional scholarships through the honors program would be to do your interview if you would be accepted into the honors program or not.
Okay. So it was the last but not the least question. And I think we are done with the questions. Okay, there's one more question. Yeah, from Shraddha Chaudhary. Being from commerce with maths background, what are the courses I can do to get job at Google?
Well, of course, I cannot guarantee you a job at Google. However, I do recommend if you're looking at, you know, computers, computer information systems, computer engineering, a math background, or any of our business programs, what I would recommend is make sure that you have a great portfolio, and Wilkes can help you do that by having the small class sizes and like I mentioned, doing the research and being able to use our facilities. That can help you get that great portfolio to show Google why they should hire you.
Okay. So now we have started getting the thank you messages from a number of students. I think the questions are over now, and I would like to thank on behalf of UniBrijj to all the staff members as well as the students for being patient, and the students especially to being so inquisitive throughout the session and showing their interest. And thank you so much, Abby, to have you on this session.
Yes, thank you. And I appreciate all of your questions. You are the most talkative group of students that I think I have ever chatted with. So I appreciate you all paying attention and really being interested in the presentation.
I would request Sonia ma'am also to talk a bit about this on behalf of school. Sonia ma'am, are you there?
Yes, I can't.
We are able to hear you.
Okay, so I am here. Yes. Can you hear?
I was just requesting. Yes, we can hear you.
Okay. So thank you very much. It was a very interesting session, and I am also like I am amazed to see the questions that students were asking, and so we can say that we are on the right track. That
Yes.
so. So it was very nice session. Thank you, Abby. Thank you, Nupur ma'am and Afsha ma'am. It was very
It's
interesting
all
session, and
because of you and the faculty of school that students are asking such wonderful questions.
thank you very much. Thank you very
It
much.
shows that
Thank you,
they
students
have been
and the staff
counseling so
members
nicely.
also. Yeah, ma'am.
It shows that they
Yes,
have been
Afsha.
counseled very nicely.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, everyone. Once again, thank you so much.
So I guess it's a wrap for today's session.
Yes, sounds great.
All right. So thank you, everyone. Thank you, Khaitan Public School. Thank you, Abby. And thank you, all the students. Thank you for joining us.
Take care of yourselves, be at home, and stay safe.
Yes. All right. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye,
Abby,
everyone.
you have a good day. Rest of us have a good night.